Hello, hello, hello. How's it going? I hope you're well. It is Thursday, the day we're meeting each and every single week to talk about a topic that is in relation to marketing, mindset, mindfulness combined together. Usually, it is also, if you're new here, by the way, my name is Thierry from thierryvalexander.com, as you can see right below here. Each and every single week, we are meeting here at 8 p.m. on my business page, in our private community, The Rise and Roll, as well as on YouTube, in order to talk about the topic which is linked to the blog that came out on a Monday on the website. However, for a season, I didn't really do any new blog articles. Fueled you, I gave you some value anyway from other sources. And each and every single Thursday, we're still meeting. Even when I was away during my meditation retreat, I recorded the videos and I made sure that you had the content. So hopefully you've managed to enjoy it as well. I'm just going to make sure that the sound is good. If you can let me know, that'd be great as well. Because we never know with technology. Right, the sound sounds good, but it seems to be a bit blurry, right? Yeah, it seems that the camera is a little blurry, so let me know. I think it's actually StreamYard, which is being a little sneaky in the sense that, this is on a, what do they call it? Like um, what did they call it? Let me see. Yeah, 7P or whatever, like high definition, but they have like a 1080, which is the one that doesn't make it blurry. So I think it might be a little blurry. Let me know if it is on your side as well. But as I'm looking on my phone, it seems to be a little blurry. So I'm sorry for this. But anyway, today what I want to talk about is how to stop sabotaging yourself because of the big O for overwhelmed. Have you ever felt overwhelmed in your business, in life, in any other areas, maybe in your relationships? Have you ever felt overwhelmed at all in somewhere or for something in particular? I definitely have felt overwhelmed many times over in business, especially for other things like even, in work positions, but in business, massively. It has been something at the beginning that really was huge for me because obviously I didn't really know what I was doing. And also there was some other elements that I didn't you know really paid attention of, which is really important in that area. So first of all, I mean, why can we get easily overwhelmed? And feel free to drop your ideas as well, to drop your comments. I'll read them, I'll share them, I'll give you a shout out. If you can share as well where you're tuning in from, when, if you're on a replay, that'd be cool. Interacting with you whether you're live or on a replay. So but anyway, so the reason why we tend to get overwhelmed, in my experience anyway, is a lack of organization. When we are not putting things into place, when we're just all over the place. Also, a lack of self-love and self-care, which is so important. This is the reason why I'm, like switching off at some point during the year to go to my meditation retreat, as you've heard me talk about quite a few times now since I came back. And I talk about it on a regular basis anyway. I think mindfulness has always been something that I like to bring to the table because everything is connected. I firmly believe we cannot go, out there in the world without really looking after ourselves and without, checking our own cup, whether it is full or empty, but knowing where we at. So we know how much we can actually impact or not people that we want to touch, right? People's lives that we want to touch. Limiting beliefs is another thing why we tend to get really overwhelmed at times. We are, sabotaging ourselves with the I cannot do this, I'm not good enough, I'm not, why me, why should I be successful? Whereas some other people are doing it already, they're doing what I'm doing. the thing is, like, there is not such things as competition. So even if someone else is doing something very similar, if not exactly the same thing as you do, most likely the chances are that you will not have the same audience, right? I very often talk about knowing who is it that you want to serve, who is the audience that you choose to, because you get to choose, right, in your business, that you get to choose to serve and help with your problem, your solutions, not your problems. You help them with their problems thanks to your solutions you've got to offer. Okay. And even if someone else has the exact same physical product, digital product, the same framework, even of coaching or consultation, whichever it may be, the chances are you are gonna have a different audience because you are two individuals, and most of the time, it's very common that one's audience is the reflection of who they are. Yeah, does that make sense? Like, the reason being, it's because then you become more relatable, you can understand your audience much better, you can craft a message that is relevant and talking to them just like you've known them forever, because usually it's a reflection of you, or someone that you were, if that makes sense, right? Like from experiences that you've gathered, that you went through, that you've grown through, and now that you're sharing to, in order to help other people not to suffer as much as you did within your experience, right? Suffering doesn't necessarily mean like you're about to die, but you had an experience that was not making you uh, maybe happy, or not giving you the results that you wanted to get, whether in business or in life, and then you decided to now create a framework, a method, a strategy, a plan that is helping other people with this exact same problem, whichever it may be. And the other the other reason I believe why we tend to sabotage ourselves, and because of the overwhelm, or get overwhelmed and then be- sabotaging ourselves because of that, is the lack of self-control. And I'm going to talk about all these little things that I've just mentioned here. But self-control is so important. We cannot be all over the place, and emotionally, and be completely like being a wreck. Even I realized that very often when I was doing Facebook lives, I was so emotionally, like, really all over the place. My head was, I was excited and enthusiastic, as I like to be here, but within I would feel like completely at the end of it, like, oh, you know out of myself. This is not what we want to create. We want to be enthusiastic, we want to be happy, we want to be joyful, we want to be excited. Yet we surely must be in control of our emotions, not to be like super excited and then it finishes and you go down, right? Have you ever felt like this? Or maybe like going to a seminar, or taking a course, like, or a challenge, like a life challenge, a live course, a live masterclass, a live webinar, or a seminar in person, a conference of some sort, a business conference, where there are other people and it's a lot of like hype, and you get super excited, super like, energetic and really, really high. And then you come out of it, and for like days you feel down. You're like, whoa. Or after a few days the hype comes down, and then you feel completely drained. Have you ever felt like this? I remember when attending business conferences, uh, seminars, and such things, even meetup groups, I would get out and super pumped for a day or two. And then after that, my energy would like be depleting very quickly, making me feel completely drained, depressed, and not seeing the results that I thought I would get in a very short period of time with my high energy, right? This is the reason why we've got to be in self control of our emotions, okay? Now, what can we do? What can we do in order to because I'm telling you the why here. Why do we get overwhelmed? These are some of the reasons. You may want to jot down some other reasons within the chat, so I can see what else you feel can get us overwhelmed. You know, you but also one thing, because some of you might put in the comments, yeah, the energy of other people putting me in that direction, this direction, my situation, the situation at work, my health, this and that, this and that, without considering actually pointing the finger at yourself. Because it's so easy to point the finger out, to other things, to other people, other situations that are external to us. That person did so, that person did that person said so, or that person said that to me, which affected my emotions, that I'm very sensitive person. Okay, so we're going back to being in control of our emotions, very important. But what else can we do to be making sure that we don't go into the lack, to the big overwhelm, to not create overwhelm? Planning is a big thing. You might have seen recently that I'm looking here because it's right in front of me on my wall, that I've planned my 2022, my entire 2022 promotional calendar, right? Not the day-to-day, by hour sort of planning, but the promotional calendar, what I want to promote, my activity, and promotional calendar. So the challenges in the master classes and the webinars that I'm planning on creating, on putting out there to share with you, the new services that I'm launching, and when to promote it, when to open the launch cart, when to close it, and other things like blog creation. So the things that are big and really important to know when I do it, so that the fact of doing this really makes me feel much more relaxed, because I've got that plan. And now with those big lines, knowing when I've got to start the process again of creating blogs, which I'm right now in the middle of it. So if you've got some ideas or topics that you want me to talk about in regards to marketing, attraction marketing, affiliate marketing, network marketing, mindfulness, meditation, self-care, self-well-being, feel free to share with me some of the topics you'd like me to put together, and I'll create maybe even a freebie. Well, every week you've got a freebie coming right along with the blog. So let me know, and then I'll make sure to do something for you. Yet planning is really like, this sort of planning is making me feel relaxed, because now each and every single week, then I've got this year plan of promotion and masterclasses and challenges. But of course, each and every single month, I'm reviewing my calendar, my diary, right, which is right here, very colorful. And I see what's going on for the month. So I'm going to look back. Oh, okay, I've got to think of this, the challenges. Okay, promoting. Do I have to create the blogs? Okay, let's do this. And then I'm going on to my week by week. Okay, so each and every single month and each and every single week on Sunday, I'm reviewing that. Right. So that way, the reason it makes me feel relaxed is because I can fit my week by week scheduling in relation to what I'm planning on promoting and launching. Okay, so my content on a weekly, monthly, and weekly basis, my reels that I'm gonna get into again, my Facebook lives, my blogs, and all this, everything makes sense, right? The emails that I'm sending my subscribers, etc. Also, in addition of knowing what's coming, it really helps me to pivot very quickly if something happens. Okay, um, like when we, for example, got all in the same in the same bag in 2020, I could pivot very quickly because I'm planning, and I wasn't even as like detailed as what I've done this year, which is amazing. It really is so good. But every year I plan, I do my goal setting. Let me know if you set your goals at least for the year, maybe for the month, perhaps even for the week. So, and maybe your intention, maybe you have some intention that you're setting for yourself on a day-to-day basis as well, which is another good thing if you can do that. Planning ahead really helps to pivot when something is happening. Okay, so now I've got things going on in my personal life, and we're gonna have to really do like crazy stuff. I will share that with you when the time is right. But then that is making me having to, uh, planning ahead and knowing that I'm gonna have those events coming up, and I've gotta plan my business around. So knowing what I've got to do, I'm going to plan accordingly so I don't feel overwhelmed. Okay, because the business still needs to run. Okay, so that is the reason why planning is so important. So let me know if you need some tips on planning, if you need some support, and I'll make sure to help you to the best of my ability. Now, what else can we do to not get overwhelmed? Take a break. Take a break, Again, like stop, breathe, and remember that things will happen. If you're focused, if you're determined, if you are diligent and patient in what you're doing, things will happen for you. Yes, we don't know if tomorrow is going to turn up. We don't know if we're going to turn up tomorrow, right? Yet just be patient with yourself. Don't feel like that constant FOMO and having to constantly be on the hustle bustle and stuff. I think this is really unhealthy, actually. Plan ahead and make sure you plan your breaks as well. Like breathe, even when you're having a Facebook live, when you're making a Facebook live, when you are planning, when you are talking, be intentional, be present, be feel yourself. And I'm going to talk about this shortly, but take a break. What does a break look like? Go for a walk. Go for a walk, take some fresh air, exercise maybe, like it doesn't have to be a long exercise, but just, the fact of moving your body each and every single morning. I actually do like those 9 minutes, 6 to 9 minutes exercises for stretching. And I'm actually about to manage to do the split now because of those videos that I'm following. Let me know if you want them. Like it was like that $27 that I've purchased on an ad on Facebook, and and thanks to those 6 to 9 minutes exercise each and every single day, so nothing much. I was like super stiff. At some point I did a before and after picture of my progress, and it makes a lot of difference. Read, maybe take some time to read. Maybe reading is a thing of yours, right? And a book that is inspiring you, that is making you grow. And obviously one of my big one, right, which you might know by now, if you can, if you like it, if you resonate with it, meditate. That's a me time. It's really important, to be present, to be here. And as I said, like even when you're doing a Facebook live, for example, like right now, take a breath. Take a breath in, take a breath out, take the time to think and feel within yourselves, right? And that is the other things you can do to not be so overwhelmed in your business, is to get to know yourself, get to know what triggers you within, so you don't avoid those things, but you don't get involved in them, right? Of course, you're not going to throw yourself in the lion's mouth, and go into the things you don't like doing and that are triggering you in some way, shape, or form. Yet, get to know yourself and what triggers you, because there are things we've got no control over. You've got control over not intentionally going to and towards the things and aligning yourself with the things that are triggering you, yet you've got no control over what other people may want to bring to you, which you don't necessarily like. However, having said that, you have control over your own feelings. You've got well, let me rephrase this. You've got control over the how you want your feelings to be expressed, right? So get to feel, because the thoughts, even if someone brings you something undesirable, it will start with a thought of like, oh, I don't like this. And if the person persists, you'll be like, oh my God, but what the F are they keeping on doing this? I told them I don't like it. Oh, this person is so annoying. And then it builds up, it builds up, it builds up, and it becomes, like really big, and you become annoyed, and maybe some anger. The feelings is becoming so unbearable that you then verbalize it and maybe even become physical about it, right? Hopefully not. But it can. It all starts by the thoughts, becomes a feeling, a sensation. So being aware of your sensations are really important, because then you can decide, when you're acknowledging them, what you can do in order to make sure that your feeling of anger or depression or overwhelm is diminishing rather than expanding and becoming super big. Then just refocus again on that breathing of yours, that natural breathing of yours coming f- out, in and out of your nostrils, right? Feeling just right around your nostrils, the breathing coming in and out, and acknowledging your feeling from inside, seeing that it's there, how it is, how it looks like from within, how it feels like, and breathing and say, okay, yeah, this is anger. Okay, this is annoyance, this is joy, this is happiness, but without getting involved in it, without buying into it, just acknowledging it. Like, it's like thoughts, they're coming and going. So acknowledging your thoughts that are here and knowing that they are also bound to go, very important, because that's the start of living a peaceful life. This is really the start of living a life where you are much more in control of your emotions, of your thoughts, of your actions, and thus the results that you're creating within your life, within your business, within your life, within your relationships. It all starts from within. I used to not really understand, when people, have you ever heard people saying, you know, check yourself from within. It's all starts from within. You've got the answers within you. But how do we tap into it? How do we tap into the those emotions, those that relation with ourselves, to get to know ourselves better? Right? I still am on a discovery of myself. I still am, you know, finding out elements and accepting, acknowledging some parts of my being, and that's an ongoing work. But the more we do the inner work, the better we are going to actually, create the external world that we want, manifest and materialize everything that we desire. Okay, so how can we I've talked about, the why, the what, the why we get overwhelmed, what makes us feel overwhelmed, what can we do to make overwhelmed, to not feel so overwhelmed. Now, how do we put all this together? Well, first and foremost, maybe like instead of keeping everything in your head in terms of your business ideas, I know as entrepreneurs, we've got all those ideas on a daily basis that are coming, and we're like, oh my God, yeah, I'm going to do this. Oh, that sounds great. And we go to bed and we're thinking, oh yeah, this and that and that and that and that. And the next morning we're feeling like, oh my God, that's gone. What was it? Oh, I've got this additional idea that comes in, and then it becomes so huge and our mind is about to explode. So how do we do to avoid overwhelming ourselves with all those beautiful ideas that we've got, and not getting annoyed by because we're forgetting and going back onto the wagon of getting a new idea but then not implementing and forgetting again, etc. Put your ideas down. Have a block note. Have maybe a space on your phone where, and maybe keep like a block note with a pen and paper. I do not recommend to keep your devices next to you when you sleep in your bedroom, but keep a block note where if you've got something popping up, then you write it down so you can release it from your mind, knowing that it is safe in your block notes and you can refer back to it at any time when you're ready to actually take action on it. Have a diary. I shared with you my diary. Have a diary because this is what's going to give you some structures, knowing where you're going, what you can do. If someone is asking you for a meeting, then say yes or no. Can you move something or not? Or release that person and say, hey, we've got a book on another day because I'm fully booked, or because I can't, or because I don't want. It's fine to say no because you don't want as well. Okay. So schedule your me time. And we're going back to that me time again, taking those breaks, at lunchtime, taking, some time for you in the morning, some time for yourself in the evening, at least those two times, one in the morning, one in the evening, one to start your day, one to wind down. And then if you can fit a little one in the afternoon, like, around lunchtime or early afternoon, for, I take about half an hour in addition of my lunch. So that's 1.5 hour. But if you can't, like maybe take your lunch of an hour and then fit within that hour. I hope you've got an hour lunch. And if it's half an hour lunch, then fit at least, 15 minutes or 10 minutes or 5 minutes to do something that you like, to really send those vibes and those frequencies in the universe saying that I deserve it. I am worth it. I am worthy of taking that time. I am worthy of looking after myself. I am worthy of meditating. I am worthy of doing what I love in those free time that I allocate for myself. Be in charge, right? And daily self inner work on a daily basis, it is a non-negotiable. If you want to grow, if you want to impact other people positively, if you want things to work your way, if you want to start having, a better inner self and relationship with yourself first, because there's no way you can have great relationship with people, whomever they are, if you don't have a great relationship with yourself. When you start really loving on yourself, working within, I thought I was doing the work within before, and I started on a surface level, right? Like affirmations and, um, yeah, doing a lot of sort of things like gratitude journaling, which I do. That's another thing you can do, gratitude journaling on daily basis. And that's great for the surface level. But from within, you've got to connect. And for me, well, the meditation technique that I use is the best way that I found to really work on myself. And I can tell you that I can work, not that I want to attract it, but I can work with difficult people, challenges that are actually not affecting me that much. Right now, we are going in our household through something. We're about to grow through something, as I like to say, even more. And I'm okay with it. It's about accepting the things as they are, and not like I would like them to be in the present time, right? Yes, planning for what I want, of course, but accepting the things as they are right now, and not saying, oh, right now I would like them to be like this. It is what it is. Okay. So but in a work, you know again, you can start doing it on many different levels, like personal development, getting courses, going to seminars, taking a webinar, going on master classes, connecting with the right community, getting a coach to help you out, doing gratitude journaling for other things if you want, meditation. And again, there are many different type of meditations. So, and I'm not one to ban any other type of meditation techniques. I've done many before, but this one that I've been using for the past 3 or 4 years, since 2018, then I've been meditating since 2013, 14, but since 2018, been using this technique I've been sharing with you over the past few days. And that is definitely the one that even my partner sees the different in me, right? So, and in my dealings with others, in my business, etc., etc. So, on that note, just look after yourself. Remember, if you feel overwhelmed, essentially, bottom line is that there's something within that needs to be worked on. And we need to find that balance. We need to see what it is. And perhaps, and most likely, it is a lack of me time or organization, as I've said earlier, or lack of self control, limiting beliefs that are popping up, and we are getting too sucked into those ones that are making us feel bad, and we're like buying into them, whereas it doesn't define you. Okay. So lots of love, sending you love and kindness, and I look forward to seeing you on this next Facebook Live. If you have any questions, feel free to jot them down into the chat, or contact me on a private basis. I'll be happy to have a chat with you, help you out if you have any questions, give you some tips on anything that I've been chatting about today. And hopefully it impacted you. If it did and you believe it could impact anybody else, of course, you can invite your people into this community, the Rise and Roll private community Facebook group. Like, tag them if it's on the business page that you've been watching this, and we'll be seeing each other very soon. All right, on that note, love and kindness your way. See you soon. This is a wrap. Bye bye.